Hi everyone, welcome back to Storytime Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the film from 2010, Kidnapped. Without any further, let's get started. The film opens with a wounded man waking up in the woods with a plastic bag on his head. He is unable to remove the bag because his wrists are tied behind him. He wanders around in confusion until he finds himself in the middle of a road where a car runs over him. He is fortunate to be alive, and when the driver gets out of his car to check on him, he tears the bag in the man's face. The man then begs for his cell phone, saying that his family is in danger. When the man takes the driver's phone and his daughter Dani answers, he instructs her to call the police and to keep everyone out of the house until they arrive. However, his daughter informs him that it is already too late and that her mother has been shot. The scene shifts to Jamie heading to his new house, where his daughter Isa and his wife Marta are fighting because Isa wants to go out tonight and her mother wants the three of them to stay home. Isa dislikes her new house and has an attitude that worries the mother, but Martha is adamant about her choice. Jamie gives his daughter some cash so she can enjoy herself with her friends, while Martha stays busy with helping the people move the belongings into the new home. At night, Isa assists her mother around the house, but Martha still becomes irate. When Isa informs her she won't be joining them for dinner, they argue about it once more and Isa slams the door on Martha. When Martha approaches her husband to express her displeasure about their daughter, he assures her that everything will be alright because she is going to spend time with Caesar, a friend that she despises. Jamie urges that they let his daughter have some fun. While they are discussing the matter, the window behind them breaks, allowing a thief to enter the house and knock Jamie off. When Isa sees this, she rushes to the front door, only to discover two more masked burglars standing there. She tries to break free from the man who is holding her. After hitting her head on the wall, she is knocked unconscious, and Martha becomes alarmed by Isa's bleeding head. Jim asks one of the masked burglars what they want. The man tells him to take out the credit cards and write down the numbers. Jamie does as he's told. They then ask them to give up their cell phones. The burglars get Martha and Isa phones, but Jamie tells them his phone is at the office. The burglars call on his phone with Martha's phone, and it starts ringing in the house. While one of the burglars searches the house for Jamie's phone, the others choke Martha with a plastic bag. They demand the safe's number, which he gives it to them. Jamie is taken from his family by one of the burglars and taken to the garage downstairs. When he pulls out the knife and cuts off the rope that James's hands are bound with, he informs him that since they are going to be leaving together, they must trust one another. The robber is adamant about showing his face, which makes Jamie uncomfortable. When Jamie finally gets a glimpse of the man's face, he urges him to get in the car with him and simply drive on. While they are on their way, he informs Jamie that whether or not his family is harmed, it is Jamie. They stop near a bank and the burglar tells him to take out the cards and take out the maximum amount from each card. The burglar is unable to go with Jamie to the ATM due to security cameras. He threatens Jamie, stating that if he attempts to get assistance from others, he will call them. When a woman reaches the machine before Jamie, he approaches her and tries to ask for help without raising suspicions in the eyes of the burglar watching them from a distance. The woman gives him money in a hurry and then flees, claiming that's all she has. When the burglar returns to the car, Jamie pursues him and tries to explain that the woman fled just because he approached her and he chose not to tell her. He is instructed to get into the car and continue driving by the burglar. After a few miles and urges him to stop, he calls the Jamie family, which causes him to hear his wife and daughter yelling and crying. After pleading with the burglar to stop harming his family, Jamie is given another chance to save them. Back at home, while one of them tries to take advantage of Isa, the masked men fight and the other stops him because their boss tells them not to. When the phone rings suddenly, the violent burglar asks if they're expecting someone. When they don't answer, he drags Isa to the phone with force, nearly losing his temper in the process. Someone rings the door and Isa screams for Caesar, the friend she was to party with, to rescue them. After threatening to kill Martha if Isa makes another noise, the burglar opens the door and lets Caesar in. They ask him who he is and begin beating him viciously, which allows Martha and Isa to rush downstairs to the garage and shut the door behind them. After they start screaming for help, the intruders threaten to kill Caesar if Isa doesn't unlock the door. As Isa tries to crawl out the window, Caesar is tortured and then shot by the masked men. After that, the burglar begins pounding on the door with a large hammer. Isa escapes through the little window, but the other burglar jumps at her. Jamie stands at the ATM, asking the man next to him why they decided to attack his family. After the man doesn't answer and Jamie continues to explain that they can agree to help one another without anyone getting harmed, the burglar leaves. Once they are back in the car, the burglar hands Jamie his gun and asks him to shoot him. Jamie says he just wants this to be over. The burglar continues by telling him that he doesn't make agreements and that his family's survival is solely due to the fact that things have been easy for them. Once things become difficult, their lives become meaningless. The man stops Jamie from starting the engine and informs him that they will wait until after midnight to get more money from the ATM. At home, Isa and Martha are devastated, and Isa feels bad about not opening the door for Caesar, who didn't deserve to die. The two sobbed excessively, and the masked men put cloth in their mouths to stop them. The burglar sits in between the two and watches TV, snorting cocaine and eating food. When Martha chokes on the cloth in her mouth, the kinder burglar sees that she is having trouble breathing and removes it. She takes advantage of the situation to ask for water, which he provides. The door rings once more, but this time they take her there. The burglar instructs Martha to get rid of whatever is at the door or they will kill her daughter. The man at the door is the building security manager, who's here because the neighbors reported hearing screams from her house. She informs him that her husband enjoys watching TV loudly. The security guard believes Martha is not looking well and requests permission to enter the house. After hearing this, the robber who had her at gunpoint enters the house and follows her while wearing a mask. He introduces himself as her husband. They welcome him inside and begin chit-chatting. After they offer him some coffee and he senses something is wrong, the now unmasked man drops his act and strikes him when Isa screams from downstairs. After the burglar slits the security guard's throat, one of the two thieves accuses the murderer of exposing his face and killing an innocent guy for no reason. He furiously reveals his partner's face to Martha and Isapare, but the partner remains silent, stating that the man is crazy. He rushes to the mother and daughter, attempting to pull Isa away. When Martha begs him to take her rather than her daughter, he refuses, telling her that he favors younger women who fight. Martha falls on the ground as the burglar drags Isa away. When she is unable to get up, the kind person attempts to help her and breaks down. At the ATM, the thief who is with Jim tries to call his pal, but no one answers, so he decides to leave and instructs Jim to continue driving. Caesar is alive and tied in the same room as Martha. He accuses her for being too much of a selfish woman to open the door, but the kind burglar shuts him up. After hearing loud noises coming from upstairs, he then goes to investigate. He finds his friend raping Isa and stops him. As the two of them fight, Isa finds the strength to hit the one who attacked her in the head with a lamp and run out. He pursues her to her parents' room because there is no way out. She locks herself in the bathroom while he bangs on the door. He stops for a brief second, and when she gets close to the door, he starts hitting it again. As they approach the house, the man advises Jamie not get angry about whatever is in waiting for them. Additionally, he informs Jamie that they will need to visit the bank the following day, because the ATM's money are insufficient for them. He assures him not to be worried, but instead, Jamie speeds. The man yells for him to stop, but he doesn't, and the car crashes. Inside the bathroom, Isa awaits with the knife she finds in one of the cabinets. When he finally opens the door, she stabs him, but he grabs onto her clothes to make her stay. As they battle on the floor, she prods his eyes, but he refuses to release her hold and even knocks her unconscious before turning to the mirror to look at his face. After striking him with a metal weapon from behind, Isa continuously strikes him in the face until he is disfigured and dead. At the same time, Jim awakens from the car crash and takes the deceased man's gun. When the burglar tries to calm Issa down, she flees and stumbles over the security guard's blood, discovering his gun. Issa points the gun at the last surviving burglar and even shoots, while nervously pointing it. After hearing the gunshot, Jamie rushes inside, determined to save his family's lives. In a surprising turn of events, the kind burglar who aided her mother and protected Issa from a burglary smacks her and flees with the gun and the items he took from their home. Outside, he comes across Jim and the two point their guns at each other, but go their separate ways in peace. After calling for his family, Jim first finds Issa and after that they meet with Martha. He takes Caesar's phone and heads upstairs to report the incident to the police. From behind him, the man who was in the car with him appears and hits Jim twice, killing him. Martha screams when she sees this and pulls out a gun. She pulls the trigger, but doesn't shoot because she forgot a step. After obtaining the gun, he shoots her in the head. When Caesar and Issa come next, Caesar rushes to the door, but is killed before he can get there. Issa falls to her knees, after witnessing what she just saw, and the man catches her and repeatedly stabs her in the stomach. Thanks for watching, and remember to turn on your notifications to watch more movie recaps like this one.